So tomorrow I close on my first rental property. In this video, I'm going to tell you the story of how I got to this point, the short story, because it's been a long time coming. So if you're new here, my name is Levi, and on this channel, we're building a real estate portfolio from scratch. And if you're watching this one as it comes out, you are here super early because tomorrow I close on my first rental property. It's going to be a duplex in Texas. So how did I get to this point? It was really a long journey of learning financial management, gathering up a whole bunch of money outside of real estate. But in the real estate land, step number one for me was to set a goal. I knew that this is something I wanted to do. Now, outside of real estate, I coach ultra runners for a living. These are the guys that run 100-mile races through the mountains. And the first thing, possibly the most important thing we work on right off the bat, is setting a goal. If you don't have a goal, you don't know where you're going. And if you don't know where you're going, your chances of getting there are pretty slim. So step one for any hard thing in life, my recommendation, set a goal. Make it time bound. Look up the SMART goal system. I don't want to make this whole video about setting goals, but set good goals. Step number two is to identify a market. I made a different video about how I found my market, Lubbock, Texas. A lot of different factors had to go into it. For me, it came down to places that were growing, places where the numbers worked, where it makes sense to buy. And then I picked Lubbock in particular for two reasons. One, because it's rather devoid of natural disasters, and because because it's rather devoid of natural disasters, and because it's in a pretty serious buyer's market at the moment. So those were helpful. So once you got a market, you got to learn about that market. So I came in knowing very little about Lubbock, Texas. And so I had to learn from zero. So how did I go about that? I talked to other investors. I talked to 4 different realtors. I talked to 4 different lenders. I talked to 4 different property managers. And I read all the Wikipedias. I followed various YouTubers talking about Lubbock. I read the demographic census data, jobs data, all about the area. And this feeds into number 3, which is probably a subsection of learning about the area, is I built out a buy box. Go watch my video on the buy box. I took every property in Lubbock, put it into a spreadsheet, and organized it from potentially most profitable to least profitable. And I started looking at all these houses. That is one way to do it. You got to look at all the houses. You got to find out what they're going to rent for, find out who's going to rent them, find out, the different quirks that go into your market. I have a little snippet in there about some of the weird things in my market in particular that kind of caught me off guard. So once you learn about the market, got to get your realtor, and maybe the scariest part, we'll see, you got to start putting in offers. You have to build the confidence. A lot of it was confidence. You got to build the confidence in your knowledge enough to know what is a good offer. Now, I dabble in the Reddit real estate investing forum, and this comes across all the time. People say, hey, I put in this offer on the house, and the realtor is saying I should offer more. The other realtor wants me to offer more, or somebody else put in an offer. Should I put in a higher offer? If you know your numbers, you know what that number has to be. If you're confident, if you've looked at all the numbers, you know what your offer should be. And so you will feel confident. I felt confident putting in every offer. I knew at this price, this house makes sense. And if you know your market and you know your numbers, at least for me, you should feel pretty confident about every offer you put in, and there will be no hemming and hawing going back and forth about some other guy put in a higher offer. Should I put in a higher offer? No, you should not put in a higher offer. You should put in the offer that makes sense to you. What you offer should not be based on what somebody else is willing to pay. Sorry, that was a little bit of a tangent there. Once you put in the offers, it's just your standard home buying process, right? I talked to many lenders, got many quotes, talked to multiple insurance places, got many quotes, put it all together. Inspections, definitely get your inspections. I did inspections plus a couple of bonus inspections. I really wanted to get the sewer line inspected. On this house it was fine, but on a different house we checked out, the sewer line was a real problem, and that's a big problem. So get everything lined up, and tomorrow got a mobile notary coming to my house, thousands of miles away from where this rental property is, and we're going to sign all the documents, and then I go to the bank and I wire the money, and then from what I'm told, that's when the real fun starts. I've got 2 different property managers lined up. I need to make a decision. Anybody want to give input? I'm open to it. One's a smaller operation that still seems to be figuring it out. One's a larger operation that seems to have systems, but I've been warned about kind of going with larger operations that accountability is kind of lackluster, so they drop the ball a lot. Anyhow, that's where I'm at. We're buying the first one. I made a previous video about the anxiety I felt about buying it. That anxiety has subsided again. Check the numbers. It all makes sense. I'm a little anxious about getting it rented. Once I get them rented, I will start putting in offers on more properties. My goal, we talked about goals at the beginning, my goal is to buy 4 properties in Lubbock by February, or 4 doors, I should say. This is going to be 2 of them. I'm going to be looking for another 2, but I'm not putting in offers yet. I'm not that confident yet. I want to get these 2 rented. Once these 2 are rented and making money instead of costing money, I will be putting in offers all over again using the same process. All right, please like and subscribe. Thank you for watching. I could use some more subscribers. Somebody's been watching these videos lately because the numbers on them have just gone up and up and up and up. But most of you aren't subscribed, so do that thing, subscribe. Thanks for coming along on my journey to buy the first rental property. With any luck, there will be many, many, many more to come.